Hello everyone, welcome back to SnowRunner episode 43 and an amateur version of the Titanic over there. No, probably shouldn't joke about that, but yeah, welcome back. We are doing cargo from the oversized cargo... What? We're doing cargo from the ship. My brain is apparently mush because I've spoke for more than, I don't know, 2 minutes now. 2 minutes? What? That's... No. Right. Yeah, welcome back. What an introduction. What an introduction. So, if you have watched the last episode, you'll know exactly where we're picking up from. If you haven't watched the last episode and just stumbled across that introduction, I'm sorry. But we've got to negotiate this hellish little route now. And if I sound slightly odd at the moment, it's because I'm being extremely professional and eating a little sweetie at the same time. A nice little mint, because it helps clear my nose, and then I can somewhat breathe properly while speaking as well. The joys of hay fever. Or just a constant blocked nose, which seems to be my problem in life. Any doctors listening? Let me know why that might be. Good news, guys. I've just remembered that I have a winch. It won't connect to what I want it to, but I do have one. So, I mean, you've probably worked out that, I mean, if you've followed my videos for a while, that I kind of record about once a week, which means in the several days that follow each recording, I forget everything about SnowRunner. Hence why I forgot I had a winch. I don't like the look of this turn. And I don't even know how I'm going to do it. It's possible, because I've done it on normal mode. That is somewhat becoming the unofficial motto of this channel, unfortunately. Or this playthrough. Thankfully, or not thankfully, it will eventually stop, because as you may have heard me say many, many times before, I've only done Alaska and whatever we're on now, Michigan, on normal mode. Everything else is kind of new to me. I did a bit of Russia. But now else. Oh, that was great, wasn't it? I don't know how to get around this turn. I don't think there's another way you can go. If there is, it's kind of irrelevant, because I don't know what it is, and I'm not doing it. I'm hoping that I can just winch my way to success. My game lagged slightly there. I don't know whether that will pick up in the final video. Right, I'm making an ass of this. And I actually don't know how to do this. Oh, that's the wrong button. I mean, that's the wrong gear. Brilliant. Back down here. Can I go through those trees? Do you reckon that's possible? I can't really see to... Well, that didn't help. Like, it could be that I'm just... wide load. It's more like long load. I don't like the idea of trying to go through there, because it just looks difficult. Not that this is any better, but This is going to be one of those videos that just begins with minutes and minutes of faffing about. Just trying to negotiate this turn. However, winching from the body of the truck seems to have done the trick. Although, I'm a little bit unsure about this angle. Yeah, I'm stuck on some rocks here by the looks of it. I don't know whether I can body pull myself again. I don't know why, but winching from the rear end of the truck to try and push myself forwards kind of reminds me of, you know, when people are trying to get dogs to sit down, often kids, and the dog isn't listening, so they're sort of going to push on the kind of rear end of the dog a little bit, like the rear end of its back, not necessarily its butt, and I push down on the back, and then it sits down. I don't know why, but me winching from the bottom of the truck reminds me of that. Shit, I had a feeling that was going to happen. Okay. That's annoying. Right, let me grab a photo. Ah, interesting. I don't think there's anything I can winch onto. It's going to help me, but no. This is kind of weird. The only thing I can think is by doing something like that. Okay, so I'm going to have to get the White Western Star. It's all the way over here now. We need to detach the trailer again, which is always scary, and go and find our friend. But that little winch maneuver might have got the twin steer into just enough of a kind of position on those rocks that I can easily tip it over with this, because obviously this truck is not the beefiest in the world, but if I can pull the twin steer over, then it might be okay. What I don't know is whether the crane on this is going to support the cargo. If it can't, then I think it's just going to unfortunately be an issue of driving the twin steer back to the ship and getting another one, which means negotiating that turn again, which means more time and more fuel. Am I going the right way? I am going the right way. So we'll see. Yeah, I sort of saw that one coming, to be honest, but I couldn't be bothered to reverse and try and straighten it out, or I kind of thought that it wouldn't work if I tried that anyway, so I just sort of committed, hoped for the best, and obviously it didn't work well. Right, based on that damage as well, it's going to be one of these episodes where I just batter everything and everything, anything and everything. Well, it's not begun the way that I hoped it would, which would be me negotiating my way to success out of that little crevice of rocks and mud and things, and then confidently driving my way to the drop-off with both these trucks. But alas, that is the joys of SnowRunner, isn't it? And particularly this channel. I'm sure I've watched some SnowRunner channels that don't have any incidents at all, so I think I'm just kind of balancing those out. If, you know, I don't know what the point I was going to make there was. Yeah, sure, done. So, I just got a trophy, and I think it's the one where you drive something like a kilometre through water, and that little puddle just triggered it. Oh yeah, a kilometre in total through water. Right, firstly, moment of truth. Can I yank the twin steer over? Surprisingly, yes. I didn't think that would actually work too well. The harder challenge, I think, maybe, is going to be this cargo container. As long as I don't flip myself over again. I'm stuck on my own truck. I'm still stuck on my own truck. Although, could that be an advantage? Because it might stop me tipping over. Right, so the cargo container is in fact pretty light. The biggest issue I'm actually experiencing right now is the SnowRunner crane camera. That's confusing the shit out of me. As you can see, exceptionally well done here. If I run out of crane, is the camera just messing me again? Right, there we go. A combination of running out of crane and camera by the looks of it. Is that going to be enough? I'm going to assume not. Sure. I think that actually might be because of the White Western Star now. It might be in the way too much. Oh my word. We're okay. I hope that I can get this out the way without the White Western Star falling over. And through this puddle. he's stuck again. Right, so in theory that wasn't the worst rescue I've ever had to deal with. Slightly annoying, but mostly okay. So I'm going to stop this here and jump into the White Western Star just so I can get it out of this little predicament. Because I didn't want to go too far with the twin steer in case I immediately flipped the White Western Star, almost like that, in case I needed to come back. So I might actually be able to drag this with me a bit, if I can hit the right buttons in the right time. Ooh, exciting. We can have the beacons on. I'm not sure pulling the White Western Star is actually going to do too much for me. That was a little close. I thought we were about to tip over then. Yeah, I'm going to leave the White Western Star here. I just wanted to dive into it to make sure it was actually on its wheels. And we'll come back with that later. Because it's just not worth the aggro of trying to pull it at the same time. I forget that sometimes when you switch trucks, it turns off the diff lock. I think. Maybe. Or maybe I just didn't put them on. Either's entirely plausible. So really we've just got the narrow bit that's around this corner, I believe. Then we might be okay for the run to the actual warehouse. Which the majority of it is actually, I think I said before, it is tarmac. It's in Smithfield Dam, it's on the roads. As I said last episode, this bit is actually the worst bit. Like this initial journey from the ship to almost really that apex of this hill that we're climbing up now. Because once we get up here, the narrow stuff's out of the way. Get the dog body winch on the go. Make sure I've got this tree. But that'll help me negotiate it as well. Yeah, so that is probably the toughest bit. Done. I don't want to speak too soon, but you know, we're kind of more on the flat now. We've got wider tracks to follow. And then the only other real, I'd say real challenging bit is you've got that narrow bridge in the Smithville Mountains, which we had a scary time with pulling, is it the oil rig drill thing? Possibly with the Pacific, I can't remember. I did choose a bad moment to check the map though, and I've sort of drowned myself a bit here. I can't see if I'm stuck on something either. Alright, advantage of the long boy. It might be in that log, I don't know. I know we'll pull those trees over, but until they actually fall over, it's still a bit of help with a winch. There's a lot of mud to get through here. But again, once we're through this patch, probably the worst of it done. Probably. There might be a few bits more on the journey, but we'll see. We're here. Right, so now back to do the same again. But with the White Western Star, of course. Should be a bit easier because we've got four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive every time. We've got all-wheel drive, diff lock, and we're not a big old long boy. So we should be able to get through this a little bit speedier. Oh, that wasn't too bad. I thought I was really going to batter myself then. Are our lights still intact? They are. So there's no need to even treat ourselves to a bodywork repair. did not see that massive tree stump then. You might have just caught a glimpse of it, kind of silhouetted. And luckily it didn't batter us in any way, shape or form. So my plan with getting these 2 trucks to the drop-off is to try and convoy it a little bit where possible. Now, there's a lot of sharp turns. There are some difficult bits like that bridge that I mentioned, which we're not going to be able to convoy the entire way. But I think I'll certainly be able to do some of it. Now, can I reach the fuel tanker? I can. Surprising. I feel like I like the twin steer up front. So let's see if I can do that without causing a scene. I knocked a tree over, but that's about as much of a scene as I've caused. Well, it's just scraped our way along the White Western Star, but I think it can cope with that. Right, it's convoy time. I thought I was going to go straight away then. I was like, how would that have happened? How would that work? But Jesus, that would have been horrid. Although quite entertaining for all the wrong reasons, of course. So I'm actually kind of relieved to know that the White Western Star can pick up these oversized cargo container. Hello, cargo container down there. That must be for one of the tasks that I've not completed. So I think already it's time to ditch the White Western Star for a minute just to get up here. Just because of that little trench thing that I was kind of driving across. Sorry if there was a loud bang then. I decided to kick the table that my mic's resting on at the same time as talking. So that'll be fun for all of us. The audio software didn't make it look like the loudest noise though, so I hope that's okay. Let's actually get around this corner to the bridge. Now, who here wants to hear a story about a bridge? Leave you there. Go and get White Western Star. Just before I carry on with the next bit, what I do want to do, that is the wrong button, is check the contract cargo for, nope, not that one. Super order, what do I need to deliver to the vehicle spare parts and fuel? Cool, so we grab all of that in Smithville Dam, which is fine. Just in case I needed to pick something up en route through Smithville. I'm a little apprehensive of something getting stuck on these kind of roadside barriers. Is that what they're called? Yeah, I think they're called roadside barriers. There's part of my head that's saying they're called crash beams, and I'm pretty sure that is totally wrong, and I've got no idea where that one's even coming from. Oh, this is very quick progress, isn't it? Sometimes I kind of wonder whether the convoy is actually worth it, or whether it would actually be quicker to do them separately. I think realistically, the key is actually doing a bit of both, which just so happens to be exactly what I'm doing. Jesus, nighttime lifted quickly there, didn't it? Right, see you in Smithville. Welcome to this horror show. Lovely, isn't it? I think that's because of the 2 trucks arriving at once convoy situation. There we go. Nope, that's not auto winch. You. Right. Where are we actually going? Yeah, it is that one. We've just got to negotiate all those trailers that I abandoned to get there, which is good. I might even be abandoning another trailer there. So yeah, this is the kind of section where, as I say, doing a bit of convoying and a bit of not convoying, individual driving, should hopefully be the fastest section, because there's no reason for us to not really convoy here. Okay, I'd imagine that our trucks would individually get a bit more speed up, but whether that is fast enough to essentially save more than half the time, more than double the time, I don't actually know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. If I did them separately, would it be twice as long? All about the what? I don't know. You can work out what I'm trying to say there if you wish. Where does that track go? Anywhere? Nowhere? Interesting. Be prepared for the unexpected. We've seen that sign before. I think I made a joke about it being the motto of SnowRunner, which is probably fairly accurate. Not validating my own jokes or anything, but yeah, I'll just validate that. Can we get around here okay? There's a good answer to that one. So we'll release the winch. Potter up here for a bit. See, this is where you can't convoy the whole time, because you just don't have the control. Out of interest, I know that SnowRunner is multiplayer. I've never engaged with it. I've never played SnowRunner on multiplayer. I don't think I intend to, but for anyone that is watching and has, what's it like? Is it good? Like, would we be doing this mission as like 2 players, one of us in each truck? So like proper convoying, not like a towing convoy? Shock horror. I'm going to ask you to let me know in the comments, because I'm desperate for engagement, people. I'm not, but you know, it does help YouTube. It helps my YouTube. So shout out and massive thanks to all of you that do comment, like, and subscribe to my channel, all my videos. I love it. I love you. I don't love the fact that I almost went into a barrier there, and that could have been disastrous. As we saw with the Pacific, when we completely annihilated one of the tyres a couple of episodes ago. Wasn't that a treat? Wasn't that a treat? I think you get a trophy in this game if you complete a certain amount of tasks or contracts without taking any damage during them. Shock horror. Haven't unlocked it yet on this playthrough. Wonder why. Or maybe I haven't, I've forgotten. Oh, I don't know. I don't care. Right, I think we're coming up to my favourite little bridge. Yes. So, goodbye, White Western Star. Because I don't want to try this with two trucks at the same time. I know, that's a bit jaunty, isn't it? That could have been disastrous. I wanted to turn on the beacons. Just to do a bit of photo mode. Nah, crap photo. Didn't get one in the end. So you won't be seeing that as a thumbnail. Have we got a tight turn coming up? Yes. So this is where it gets more difficult to convoy. I'll wait it out. I'll see if we can make it work. Cool. Apparently that was just a big old ditch. One of the rare times that I use the trailer cam, I think. All-wheel drive was actually vital then, apparently. Whether this is going to actually be effective now because of these tight turns, I don't know, but I'm going to give it a go. Worst case, we just have to do a bit more separate driving rather than the convoying. I mean, yeah, look at this. This ain't probably going to work, is it? Or is it not? When the White Western Star itself gets around, I think it's more going to be the trailer that's possibly going to face an issue with those rock slides on the corner, on the side. Depends how... we might be okay. Might be okay. Oh, we're okay. Interesting. Although, more tightness.
Although this is good fun, to be fair. I'm enjoying trying to convoy it down. I have actually got the White Western Star pushing me a bit here. And you might be able to hear I'm barely having to accelerate at the moment because momentum is kind of doing a lot of the work for me. Oh, hello. We've actually run out of road a bit here. I do need to dive into photo mode at some point and try and get a photo of this convoy, so if there's any weird sudden jump cuts or whatever, that might be why. There's our next road down there. Could just turn left and hope for the best. Just allow it, bounce down those rocks. Sure. Sure. This is the tight one where the convoy might break again. White Western Star pushing me around the corner, not helping. Photo mode, maybe? I feel that might be your thumbnail, everyone. Enjoy. That White Western Star's battered, isn't it? I would treat myself to a bodywork repair before going to, well, probably Alaska at this point, but if the lights are still working, it doesn't really need one. It's an expensive thing, an expensive option just to spend money on for purely aesthetic purposes. Really weirdly placed cargo there. I'm sure there's a way to use it that's helpful, but I don't think I touched it on normal mode. I've obviously not touched it on this. I don't think I will touch it on this. So it's a bit of a strange starting place for it. Maybe there is a strategy that involves using it, but I ain't worked it out. This could be one of the spots where we have to ditch the convoy, particularly when we get to the tight turn that's got rubble strewn all over the road, which I think is just up here. So a big truck just drove near my flat, and I heard it through the open window, and I got very confused then because it had the very strong truck accelerating sounds, and it slightly confused me. Yeah, I'm not going to try and risk this one as a convoy. Purely because I might also need the quick winch with this, just because of the angles. I think I'm going to be okay though. Yeah, but trying to convoy this would have been a mission, I think. And I'll get it onto the tarmac. I keep saying tarmac. I believe it. Is it the same as asphalt in America? The road surface. I know it's tarmac. But yeah, is it asphalt in America? Maybe. Not too far away. remember correctly, Alaska's actually a little bit easier than Michigan. There's a lot more road driving. The thing that just kind of changes the dynamic a bit is the ice. What am I doing? Attach winch, that's what I'm doing. Off we go, boys. Convoy's back. Gosh, we're actually motoring a little bit now. Getting a bit of speed on. Which is certainly a good thing. 55 mile an hour. I don't think we're at risk of getting anywhere close to that though. Do we have to cross the... no. Let's say the dam. But no, we don't. Detour. Water over road. Lovely. This should be okay to convoy. We're hitting it at a fairly straight line. Or straight approach. Okay. What I am entertainingly going to have to do is end the convoy there to basically negotiate my own trailers. Just to try and get them out of the way a bit. I know that the White Western Star sat there with its engine turning, but this should be a fairly quick razz it up the hill and drop it off. God, the container's battered. I didn't realise that this thing's taken a beating. Obviously it has, because it sort of fell off the truck. But I hope the cargo's okay. I mean, if it survived a shipwreck, then it should be good. One. And into the White Western Star. Let's get number 2 dropped off. I can really see how battered this thing is now. Which is good. All good fun. Right, we're going to get some money for the first time in several episodes, I think. We're actually going to complete a task and get some money. Or contract. Alright, what have we got? 14 grand, that ain't bad. And 1,000, or 1,200 really, experience. Cool. Nice. Well, I think that's a nice place to leave it then. Next episode, we'll probably get these guys back to the garage and see what upgrades await us or not. And then it'll be time to crack on with the last stage of Super Order. Which will be great. Cement for the region. Where do we get cement from? Not this map, apparently. Island Lake. Interesting. Cool. Well, that's one for another time. Anyway, let's get Super Order on. 2 more bits, vehicle spare parts and fuel. That's your vehicle spare parts. Fuel's down there. And that's going to be the first thing that we do next episode, once we've dropped these lads off and had a look at their upgrades. We're getting there. We are getting there. Out of interest. That's the wrong button. 69 out of 8. So 20 more missions to go in Michigan still. 83% done. Getting there. Getting there. Hopefully it won't be too long until we go to Alaska. Which also means, great. 8% of the game. North Carolina. I don't think... Yeah, this isn't even including the last few expansions, is it? Because I haven't got the last expansion pass. Anywho, as always, thank you so much for watching. Likes, comments, subscribes, always appreciated. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.